bajra, jawar, barnyard, kodo millet, proso millet, little millet, foxtail millet. My house is a collection of millets. It reminds me of my great-grandmother. She was healthy, lived up to 95, didn't have a single disease.
So, I want to come to a quick Ayurvedic hack section. Okay?
Yes.
So, just a bit, sort of a little bit of a rapid fire. I know it can't be like a proper rapid fire because, we need proper information.
We'll try.
But as quickly as we can answer this. So, an Ayurvedic hack or hacks to deal or prevent bloating. Deal with or prevent bloating.
The CCFT, okay, just add a few more ingredients to it. It's cumin seeds, fennel seeds, coriander seeds, add a cardamom and a pinch of carom seeds, boil it in water, any proportion, doesn't matter. Great remedy for bloating.
Okay, I'm going to try that. Morning rituals for a good energetic day.
Follow the cycle of the sun, rise with the sun, set with the sun, small breakfast because your metabolic fire is just rising, big lunch when the metabolic fire is at the peak based on the position of the sun, small dinner before sunset, your energy levels will always be at the peak.
Okay, amazing. Tricks to prevent overeating and weight. I saw this in your Instagram. It's fascinating.
Yeah, this one trick really works. Sukhasana. When you sit in a Sukhasana pose, the blood flows towards your digestive health. Okay, your legs are resting, and it also strengthens your vagus nerve and straightens it. Your vagus nerve sends messages to the brain every micromillion second. When we sit slouching on a table or a chair, the vagus nerve is not able to send messages as quickly. But when you sit straight in a Sukhasana pose and we're moving forward and backwards and eating, sitting on the floor and eating, this also aids your digestive health, this movement. And you eat only 80% of your appetite when you're sitting on the floor versus sitting on the dining table and chair. Sukhasana pose really helps.
How fascinating. So just for the audience, Sukhasana is essentially the easy pose or the cross-legged pose. So you should eat the traditional way, sitting on the floor in Sukhasana.
The Japs did it, the Indians did it, Chinese did it, most Asians did it. Let's go back.
Okay, amazing. So you mentioned food combinations to avoid. Can you tell us about a couple of food combinations that are actually good for you?
The food combinations that are good for you, I love carrot beetroot juice, especially if you're on a liver detox. Okay. Now there are very few vegetables that can be juiced. Carrot beetroot, ashgard, celery and cucumber is a great combination.
Okay.
Cilantro and cucumber is a good combination. And instead of putting an apple in your carrot beetroot, you can put an amla. Don't mix your fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
These are some decent combinations. If you're having raita, if you love yogurt or curd, you can put vegetables in it, grated vegetables and a tadka. That's also a good combination. Your roti sabji dal is the safest combination. Your dal rice is the safest combination. These are some safe combinations. Just remove dairy from this equation for some time. And when you're having dal, lentils do not have dairy, yogurt, because both are rich sources of protein. And the bacteria in the yogurt can start working on the lentils and cause bloating and gas. So when you have a dahi vada, you'll notice that you get bloated and gassy very quickly. So separate your dals and your dairy as well.
Okay, so just to deviate from the rapid fire, so what about a chas after a meal?
Excellent, but there's a trick of drinking chas.
Okay.
If you've had roti, sabji and dal, okay, so you've had your wheat roti or your multigrain or your millet roti, everything is fine. There's no discrimination on that, sabji and dal. Wait for 30 minutes, drink some water, rinse your mouth clean because it becomes acidic, and then have your buttermilk.
Lovely. Oh my God, such useful tips. What is a common mistake in intermittent fasting?
3 common mistakes. Number 1, intermittent fasting doesn't begin at 12 in the night or 1 in the night after a 7-course dinner, that you had at a party. I'm sorry to say, your digestive fire, metabolic fire directly corresponds to the position of the sun. After 7 o'clock, your body doesn't provide digestive juices because it corresponds to the rays of the sun and decides to shut down the metabolism or the digestive fire. Okay, the melatonin starts getting produced and it's deciding to shut off the digestive system to go to sleep. Do not eat a large dinner. That's the number 1 mistake. Stop eating foods after sunset. Okay. Number 2, do not miss your lunch. The 12 to 2 p.m. is when pitta or sun is at the peak. Your metabolic fire is also at the peak, your digestive fire. Have the largest meal of the day for lunch. And breakfast, having a big breakfast is a myth. It's what the British brought us. You don't have to follow everything that they said. They're also looking towards Eastern sciences for answers now.
Right.
Your metabolic fire is just rising. Have a small breakfast. So intermittent fasting begins at sunset, ends after sunrise.
After sunrise. Wow, how interesting. Okay, last couple of rapid fires. Should one cut out alcohol completely? And if, let's say, you cannot, okay, because of one's social life, how much is really permissible and what's a good antidote if you had it?
What do you call alcohol? What's the synonym to it? It's called poison. What do you say at a bar? What's your choice of poison? When you know it is called poison, whether it's one drop poison or one glass poison, poison is poison. It doesn't change its nature. Why would you drink poison when you know it is designed to weaken your liver, your kidney, your faculties, mental faculties? It's designed to weaken your intellectual capabilities. It just slows you down. Right? There are some fermented drinks that people have for good health, like, a brandy or wine, in some cold countries. But because it's extremely cold there, hence they have small amount of it. But it's actually extremely fermented food, which you can have even in your natural foods like kombucha and kefir and sorkat, even your buttermilk, yogurt. They're also fermented. Your idli, dosas and dhoklas. Get your kicks from them.
All right, did you hear that? Get your kicks from idlis and dosas. No more wine and beer. Okay, amazing. Last thing, is gluten really bad for you?
What is gluten? Okay, so the problem with gluten is it's very difficult to digest and break it down, right? It's not the wheat that is a problem. It's that it has been genetically modified, and the protein that has been modified in the wheat has become so hard and resilient to pests and insects, so that they don't get attacked, unfortunately are not breaking down even in our digestive system. Gluten is not the culprit here. Okay. Gluten can be easy to digest or very difficult to digest based on how it has been modified.
Okay. So which is a grain that's really good for you?
Millets. 2023 was called the Year of the Millets by United Nations, thanks to the efforts of our government, and I really, really admire and I'm all praised for it. Millets are the best foods Mother Earth has given. It grows in dry, arid climates. Even when there's not enough moisture or water, it absorbs all the nutrients. It survives in even the harshest of climates. Bajra, jawar, barnyard, kodo millet, proso millet, little millet, foxtail millet. My house is a collection of millets. It reminds me of my great-grandmother. She was healthy, lived up to 95, didn't have a single disease until the very last. That's how I would like to live my life as well.
Amazing. And on that note, we can wrap up. Thank you so much. Thank you for that amazing information, for this very vital knowledge that you have given us, Dimple. It's really fascinating.
I'm so glad you could hold a space for this healthy conversation. I think we need to amplify the sounds of preventive healthcare life science even more now. Thank you so much for that.